from the corner. Good! The horn sounds. The game's over. The Warriors win.
Warrior fans! It's go time! Let's get hyped and make some noise! Get up on your feet and greet your NBA champion Golden State Warriors! Playing in his 8th season out of Kansas, number 4, Brandon Rush. In his 4th year from Michigan State, number 23, Draymond Green. Playing his 11th NBA season from Melbourne, Australia, number 12, Andrew Bogut.
Say you're doing this dumb. How they do where you from? Hey, sticking out your tongue, girl, but you know you're too young. A bunch of girls do it and it shit look fun. That's how they do where we from. You know it don't start till 1. That's how they do it where they from.
And welcome everyone to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. And the Golden State Warriors performing in front of the 145th consecutive sellout crowd here. Tonight taking on the Phoenix Suns. This is home to the most dynastic, electrifying show in sports right now, and you're looking at the orchestrator, the leading scorer in the league right now, Steph Curry. Mark Jones alongside Mark Jackson. J.A. Adonde joining us shortly. Mark, the Warriors fully embrace their historical chase of excellence, winning 24 consecutive games. The streak finally coming to an end in Milwaukee on Saturday. The question begs now, what next for the Warriors?
So what next? The streak came to an end, but the pressure did not. Facing the Warriors team, the opposition recognized this is an opportunity for them to be put on the map. But reliable, the MVP of this league, Steph Curry, continues to find ways to get better. He has put this team once again on his back, and they're off to an incredible start.
Steph Curry getting his Player of the Month award, continues to remain on a tear. Meanwhile, a couple of guards on the other side of the floor tonight, Mark, very talented. Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight having career years for the Suns.
Well, it starts and stops with the backcourt for the Phoenix Suns. Their ability to create havoc, their ability to score in a variety of ways. Talking about averaging over 40 points per game. Not the long ball threat that the opposition in Curry and Thompson is, but these guys can flat out score, and they want to force the pace.
Suns coming off a loss on Monday night against the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas. As we take a look at the starting lineups, Bledsoe and Knight in the backcourt, P.J. Tucker, John Lure in the starting lineup for the last 8 games for Markieff Morris, and Tyson Chandler back in the starting lineup for the first time in the last 3 games, coming off of a hamstring injury. Meanwhile, it's Curry and Thompson in the backcourt for the Warriors. Brandon Rush still starting for Harrison Barnes. Draymond Green and Andrew Bogut also up front for the Dubs. And the crowd here really looking forward to seeing their Warriors for the first time in over 2 weeks. This is the first game of a 5-game homestand over 17 days. So a favorable part of the schedule coming up for Steph Curry and the Warriors. And the Suns with possession were underway. This is the second meeting of the season between these two teams. Golden State won the first meeting by 19 points in November. Here's Bledsoe back to Tyson Chandler, and he knocks down the first shot of the game.
Interesting, as Tyson Chandler knocks that shot down, you talk about a favorable part of the schedule. The toughest part of the season after a long road trip is that first game. So everybody that's been around the league will tell you this is a huge game for the Warriors to get back on track.
And Klay Thompson, Mark, off to a good start with a driving layup. Even though the Warriors have had a couple of days off,
it doesn't matter. For some reason, you know, the long road trip, and as a player, the coach would say it, and I'd sit there and go, man, come on, it has no effect. But you constantly see teams struggle in that first game back. And this is a dangerous team in Phoenix that has the ability to score and score in bunches.
Phoenix Suns, the 4th leading scoring team in the NBA. The Warriors number 1. Phoenix scoring over 104 per game. Draymond Green right at home with that 3-ball. The Warriors have 5 players that shoot over 40% from downtown.
But those are the shots that you don't mind. That's good defense, good contest. Just a big guy, just like that one. The Warriors, you give that up, you contest, you close out, guy makes a shot, you live with it.
Lure doing a nice job in the starting lineup in place of Markieff Morris. Thompson off the mark. Remember, Klay Thompson missed one of the games on that 7-game road trip with a sprained ankle. Brandon Knight with the nice floater. And Phoenix out to a good start, leading 9-5. Perfect 4 for 4 from the field, and Curry turns it over. Couldn't find Brandon Rush. And if you're looking for the one bugaboo or the Achilles heel for Golden State, they'll tell you first it's their turnovers. That time Tyson Chandler missing at the bucket. Bogut with the bounce pass to Curry. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay Warriors basketball.
And as a coach, you're Luke Walton, Steve Kerr, you sit and say, well, we turned the basketball over, but you don't mind some turnovers. There's good turnovers, and then there's bad turnovers.
Brandon Rush with the 3-ball. Brandon Rush shooting 47% from downtown on the season. Still at that starting forward position. Lure had it blocked as he went for the stuff. Rush had it knocked away, and here's P.J. Tucker. Knight left open for 3, and rebounded by Bogut. Rush for 3 again. This time he knocks it down.
No, Brandon Rush is an outstanding shooter. I would watch end of practice when I coached here early on before Brandon Rush had a season-ending knee injury, and Rush, Thompson, Curry would stay after and shoot jump shots, and he held his own with those guys. He's a great shooter.
Here's Draymond Green coming back the other way, takes it off the board, 94 feet. Couldn't get the layup, and here's Brandon Knight. Bledsoe on the wing. Kicks it back out to nobody in particular. Brandon Knight going to get possession, but it's an over and back violation against the Suns.
And there's certain guys you live with shooting the basketball, but Brandon Rush is not one of them. He's a knockdown shooter, and that's too easy. Good offense, good extra pass from Curry, and Rush does the rest.
Yeah, Mark, the last time these two teams played in November in the first meeting, Golden State had a 40-point quarter to open the ball game. Here's Rush again. Got it.
And you fall in love with the shooting of Rush, certainly getting it done. But don't overlook the playmaking ability of Draymond Green. Unselfish, created that shot opportunity for Rush.
Yeah, Green leading this Warriors team with 7 assists per game. Here's Curry on the drive. Couldn't get the reverse layup to go. And this Phoenix team, one of the leaders in the NBA in pace. They get up and down the floor. That time, Rush committing the foul on Brandon Knight.
And here's what I'm talking about. Steph Curry recognized now is Draymond Green's responsibility to make a play. Read the defense. He does. The help comes from the corner. Delivers the on-point pass to Rush.
Now, Brandon Rush, one of only 7 active players with an NBA and an NCAA title. Here's Knight. Step back 3. And Bogut with the rebound and the quick push to Green. Curry and Green, a little give and go. Green with the tip. Lure straightaway 3. He's been making those. Not that time, and Bogut leading the break now. Bogut on the lob, and he couldn't finish, but there's a foul on the play against Tyson Chandler. Guess everybody's got a green light to handle on this team, Mark, the way they bring it up.
Well, his weapons. When you have 5 guys on the floor to have the ability to push the basketball and make the right plays in transition, it makes everybody a weapon. And that time, Bogut does his job, and Draymond Green delivers the pass again.
Bogut at the free throw line, just a 43% free throw shooter. Had 7 points and a couple of rebounds against the Suns the last time these two teams ran one. He goes 0 for 2. He and Festus Ezeli been splitting a lot of time at that position. Bogut already with 5 boards at the game. Chandler over to Knight. Quick trigger. And rebounded by Klay Thompson. Green with the post up and height advantage. Cross court to Curry. We got an offensive foul against the Warriors.
Good recognition by Billy Kennedy, realizing that Andrew Bogut used his arms, illegal screen, getting Steph Curry open.
That's the first foul on Bogut. Knight had a thought, gave it up to Tucker instead. And the Suns have started to misfire after a perfect 4 for 4 start. Curry, yes! And timeout, Phoenix Suns. Steph Curry had 41 against Phoenix when they played back on November 27th.
And just good offense. Again, simple down screen, steps in rhythm. That's easy offense and bad defense. Warriors rolling early.
Welcome back, everyone, to Oracle here in Oakland. The Warriors out to a 5-point lead, just underway here in the first quarter, and the streak coming to an end. Saturday night in Milwaukee, the Harlem Globetrotters tweeting their respect. Salute to the Warriors on the streak. We bounce back after our loss in 06, and they will too. Hey, J.A. Adonde, I don't think that the Washington Generals were on the Warriors' schedule, though, buddy.
No, it's a little more difficult competing in the NBA, but there actually are some benefits to the streak being over and spending some time around the Warriors the past couple of days. Draymond Green said that it was starting to become too much like a playoff atmosphere, and it's really too difficult to sustain that type of energy and that type of attention throughout the course of the regular season. Also, Luke Walton said he can get back to making normal decisions on his rotations and to rest players because he was allowing them to stay in to keep the streak alive. And finally, and perhaps the most significant for the long term of this team, is that Steve Kerr, as Draymond Green comes up with a steal, Steve Kerr, who's been sidelined by complications from back surgery this summer and really has been in the background, wanted to wait until the streak ended, until he kind of returned to action, and he's feeling better. And now that the Warriors will be home for a little stretch, he will take a more active role in practices. Not ready to return to games yet, but because the streak is over and because he feels this is an opportune time, Steve Kerr will be playing a more active role in practices, Mark.
It'll be interesting to see how that develops over the next couple of weeks. Kerr feeling that he will be back before the season is open, but a little bit earlier tonight, Steve Kerr in on the pregame coaches meetings, as he is wont to do and has done behind the scenes, and it's going to be a much more visible variable over the next couple of weeks with the Warriors moving forward. Mark, I found it interesting that during the 24-game win streak, the players, as Phoenix scores a bucket at the hoop by Bledsoe, actually felt like there was some slippage. I find that really strange, even though they were winning.
Well, you find it strange because it's not the norm. This team is not made up of normal guys. they refuse to, take an inch. They compete at a high level. They're true professionals. They hold each other accountable. So even in the process of winning, they understand what it takes not to beat a bad team on the road, but ultimately what it's going to take to win a championship on the road in June. So they don't cut any corners, and you got to give them credit. That's why they're the champs.
Here's Thompson off the mark, and Chandler clears for the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix with a chance to get to within one here. The Suns come in 11 and 15 overall in the season. Bledsoe off the mark.
And watching Steve Kerr come in, wish him nothing but the best, and hopefully he's back, very quickly. But the thing that stood out to me is, look at the ball movement. That stands out. But the thing that stood out to me, watching this team, listening to them on the floor, give each other credit. Well, interviewing Luke Walton, everything he says is, well, we feel. Well, coach says this and we feel. How many guys, and I've been around, would try to take the credit? Oh, this guy has done an outstanding job. And it makes it easier to give Luke Walton props and give him credit. But it starts with Steve Kerr and this team.
Real interesting dynamic, and this is a very unique group, these Warriors. Curry with the three. Crowd just waiting to explode here as TJ Warren has checked into the ball game for the Suns. Phoenix has missed 11 of their last 13 field goal attempts. Bledsoe tried to hit Chandler on the lob, and Tyson Chandler comes up limping on that hamstring a little bit. Lure with the steal. It's a 3-on-1, a 4-on-1, and they throw it away. They come up empty on a 4-on-1 break. That's the fourth turnover for the Phoenix Suns.
If you're going to beat this Warriors team on the road or anywhere, you got to capitalize when these opportunities present themselves. This is a turnover. This is a 3-on-1 break. If you're Eric Bledsoe, make the proper play. That's a bad job in transition across the board.
Curry comes off the screen as Sealy on the lob. Couldn't slam it home. And Phoenix pushing tempo. Knight, who's checked back in, gets the layup at the other end. And Golden State's Luke Walton calls timeout. 1 point ball game, 3:51 to go here in the first. We'll be back right after this.
Bothering Iguodala. They throw it at the rim, and Draymond tried to tip it. Okay. We're going double overtime.
Time working out. Livingston back over to Crowder. Corner three. Too strong. Iguodala with the rebound. And the Golden State Warriors keep the streak going. In double overtime, the Warriors win 124 to 119.
One point ball game. You know, Steph Curry's brilliance is captivating audiences around the world, especially the Oakland Ballet Company, with some interesting parallels between their labor of love and Steph's. Mark, I know you see the parallels there. It's literally poetry in motion, right, on both fronts?
It's a stretch, though. it is poetry in motion, but different type poetry.
Okay. Both disciplines make it look easier than it really is, fair to say?
No question about that.
All right, we'll agree on that one. Thompson off the mark. And back comes Bledsoe. Phoenix with a chance to take the lead here. Alex Len coming into the ball game for the Suns. He's done a nice job for them at center over the last 6 games. Len has scored in double figures before that loss against Dallas. Meanwhile, TJ Warren knows how to get buckets. Knocks down that baseline jumper. A 6-0 Phoenix run has them leading by a point. Here's Iguodala from the corner.
The thing you like about this Phoenix team, they have a bunch of, wing guys that can score the basketball. You think about TJ Warren, comes off the bench, can score. Booker getting ready coming to the game. Bledsoe and Knight. They have guys that can score the basketball out of pick and rolls or create their own offense.
Little nervous cheer here at Oracle Arena, and Bledsoe getting up into Curry, comes up with the steal, and Brandon Knight going to cash at the other end. And the Suns leading by 5. Thompson open for 3, make it a 2-point game.
A bad job by Len. If you're backing one of the bigs and there's only 2 guys, you got to come out and defend Klay Thompson. At least make him put the ball on the floor until help comes.
5 points for Thompson in the game. Miletovich for 3, and he drills one. Mark, this Phoenix team is a team that gets up and down the floor and plays with a lot of pace, just like Golden State, as Curry misses again. Can they out Golden State?
The difference is they've got to use wisdom. As another heck of a move by Miletovich, they've got to use wisdom. So when the opportunity presents itself, push the basketball, look to make plays. If the Warriors go on one of those Warriors runs, Thompson knocks down the shot, then you got to force them to defend. Use wisdom. Run with discipline.
Thompson with the 3 ball. He's shooting 44% from downtown. Team's second leading scorer. Bledsoe taking Curry down on the block and loses control. And he undercuts Iguodala, committing the foul.
They get back what we were talking about as we take a look at Jeff Hornacek, Milwaukee beat Golden State. They ran the basketball, but they were able to slow down because they had a post-up presence in Greg Monroe. When you look at this Phoenix Suns team, they don't have that same luxury. So they're locked into their style to some degree.
And you see Phoenix and Golden State 3-2 in possessions per game. Jeff Hornacek, third season as their head coach. Get the feeling that he finally has the type of guys in his backcourt in Bledsoe and Knight. Two playmaking guards, two scoring type guards at the same time.
So he's got a backcourt that can match up against any backcourt in the business. If you don't have Curry and Thompson, and even if you do, as Thompson with another move, those guys averaging 22 and 20 points per night. They can score with the best of them. Give Jeff Hornacek credit. He's done a very good job in 3 years for this Suns organization.
Bledsoe getting a breather, 2-point ball game. Ronnie Price has checked in to run the point. TJ Warren with a nice spin move. That's a little two-man game. Nothing shows as a result, though. Out of bounds, it'll be Phoenix basketball with 2.9 to go on the shot clock. Price had to force one up and missed everything. Green inside to Festus Ezeli. Got his own rebound, blocked by Alex Len. Good defense by the second-year player out of Maryland. Well, the Suns have already done better this time around than they did in their first meeting. Eric Booker out top. 4 on the shot clock. They got to get to work here in a hurry. Warren with the pull-up on the baseline, and he drills it. And Sean Livingston going to walk it up. They're going to get one. Green powers it up over Teletovic. With 1.3 to go, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter of play on the first of 5 at home here for the somewhat road-weary Warriors. Klay Thompson got going. He got 10 in the first quarter. And Eric Bledsoe out of the gate quickly for the Suns with 8. Second quarter coming up right after this.
Welcome back to Oakland with Jeff Hornacek. Jeff, you guys shot below 40% for much of the quarter. How were you able to emerge with the lead?
We played pretty good defense. We had a couple breakdowns. Klay got 2 3-pointers that we didn't communicate enough in our transition defense. But overall, the guys are playing hard, and we're still in it.
Milwaukee beat the Warriors by going inside to Greg Monroe. How do you beat the Warriors with a perimeter-based approach?
Well, you got to make shots all night long. You can't just make it for a quarter or little stretches. And when things get out of hand a little bit, we got to make sure that we execute and drive the ball to the basket and then kick it out, and then they're easy shots.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Let's go back to Mark Jones and Mark Jackson.
All right, Jay, I caught something in that interview. You said all you got to do is make shots all night long, Mark.
Isn't it everybody's game?
It's a daunting task. But all night long. I mean, they're at 50% right now, 48.5%. You'd think under most circumstances that's pretty good.
Well, he's played with enough good teams, and he's coached this team. He understands what it's going to take. And it's not just about making those shots. You look at his team in that first quarter, have a 2-point lead. The Warriors don't have any free throws made. They get no second chance points, and they get 0 fast break points. That's how you beat them. Jeff Hornacek is well aware of the recipe to beat this Warrior team, but it's not easy.
Barbosa in the ball game, and the easy dime to Festus Ezeli. Barbosa, Rush, Livingston, Ezeli, and Iguodala on the floor for the Golden State Warriors. In their first game at home after a 13-day road trip that covered almost 4,000 miles across the country. Iguodala on the drive. Had it knocked away right to the right guy. Rush, one of his rare misses from downtown. Now 3 of 4 from distance. Teletovic working against the shorter Barbosa. Couldn't take advantage of it. Now he steps out and faces up. Devin Booker over to Price for 3. That That was a good defensive sequence by the Warriors.
And a bad offensive sequence by the Suns. I think they're settling too much from three-point line. You can play against this Warrior team and try to play their style. You got to put pressure on them. Don't fall in love with that line. You don't have Thompson or Curry.
Festus Ezeli with a jump hook shot. He had 6 points and 9 rebounds and 3 blocks. Last time these two teams met. Guy who's one of the more improved players on this Warriors roster this year. Barbosa with the back tap and the steal. And the layup at the other end. That's going to be a delay of game warning against Barbosa and the Warriors.
When you talk about the improvement of Festus Ezeli, the biggest improvement in watching him and having coached him is his health. There's no question. There's a guy that started as a rookie in a playoff series that we won. Able to defend the pick and roll, able to protect the rim, can finish, and he loves the game of basketball. He is having a heck of a year for this Warriors team.
I was talking earlier about meeting Akeem Olajuwon this summer in Africa when the NBA had their inaugural game in Africa, and Akeem gave some great advice. He said, don't give yourself any limits. Don't put limits on yourself, and don't let people put you in a box. Really inspired him in his summer workouts. Suns with the bucket, down by just 2. There's Ezeli working from the elbow, lost the handle, but he was fouled on the play. Foul is going to go against Alex Len. Folks, let's take a look at the upcoming NBA national TV schedule. Tomorrow on TNT, OKC, who's really coming now right now, taking on Cleveland. Houston, the Lakers after that one. ESPN Friday has a double dip. The Clippers at San Antonio, followed by the Pelicans and the Suns. Saturday on NBA TV, it's Charlotte taking on Washington. On these games, log on to NBA.com or check out the NBA app. One on the shot clock. Barbosa had to jack one, and Len clears. Hey, we saw the menu mark. What about the San Antonio Spurs looming just 4 games back in the loss column? So in spite of all the wins by the Warriors, Barbosa a little shaken up. Not much of a lead in the Western Conference.
And if you're the San Antonio Spurs, that's exactly where you want to be. You want everybody to be raving as Rush knocks down another shot, raving about the champs, raving about the Warriors, fall in love with them, and the Spurs just under the radar. We know their MO, and they are in an ideal situation.
Those two teams don't meet Golden State and San Antonio until mid-January. 4-point Warrior lead. Warren out top. A 2-man game with Teletovic. A high arcing long 2 comes up short. Barbosa on the move. Warren throws up the floater, no good. Back comes Brandon Rush. Ezeli setting the screen for Iguodala. Iguodala on the drive. 5 on the shot clock. Great ball movement. They couldn't cash in on the Rush jumper.
Good job of moving the basketball. His team understands how to move the ball, and they're totally unselfish.
And the Warriors lead the NBA in assists per game. One of several offensive categories they lead the league in. Here's Teletovic going to try another one. Knocks this one down. And Phoenix back to within 1.
Well, he's not afraid to shoot the basketball.
Between Teletovic and Lure. The two of them making their mark at that forward spot in place of Markieff Morris, who has not been part of the Phoenix rotation of late. Going back the last couple of weeks. Here's Bledsoe on the move. Suns can take the lead here. Warren with the mid-range J, and he knocks it down, and timeout Golden State.
And Warren's the one guy not falling in love with that three-point line. We see him getting to the paint, little runners, and this time pick and roll, goes away from the screen. Good job, mid-range jump shot. That's high-quality offense.
TJ stands for takes jumpers, Mark. Yeah, Sage, when the Pistons play, you go online and look at that box score and check out what he's done these days. Hey, NBA Friday double dip, Clippers, San Antonio, Pelicans, Suns. Coverage starts 7 o'clock with NBA Countdown charged by Mountain Dew. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN. I hear it's free nacho night in San Antonio for your partner, Jeff Van Gundy. Is that right? Because he's upset about the fact he can't get free refills on his chips.
That's just greedy. I mean, this guy, I was thinking about, let me make a case for him to get free now. Okay, you get one order, you finish them. All right, let's go home, buddy. 75 cents.
He probably wants a free dip too, right? And cheese.
Unbelievable.
Queso, everything. Livingston at the free throw line. Meanwhile, for the Warriors have 11 assists on 14 field goals, which has been their trend this year, leading the league in assists. 1-point ball game. Things returning to normal, kind of, for the Warriors. Ball knocked out of bounds. It was interesting to hear them talk about the road trip, how several stops. In Charlotte there was Del Curry's night, and Steph had a chance to enjoy watching his father being honored by the Hornets franchise. Also a meeting there with one of his buddies, Cam Newton, who was also perfect right now in the season. In Boston, when they played the Celtics, there was a post-game meeting with a bunch of the New England Patriots. Had a rock star type feel to it when they were on the road. And I tell you about stars right now. Warren, another bucket in double figures now for the Suns.
But again, not standing on that three-point line. Puts his head down and looks to make a play.
Thompson is short. Eric Bledsoe over Teletovic. Hit one earlier. This one misses everything. But Green is whistled for the foul. Let's listen in to Luke Walton.
I love what we're trying to do. We're just not sharp with it. Steph, you got a layup, take the layup. I love the extra pass, but if we're open, take the shot. And we're sharing the ball. We're just not sharp right now. We knew this would be the case. Let's turn our brains on. Let's sharpen up out here.
Sounds like a coach that knew what was coming when they got off the road, even though they had a couple days off. Just what you said, Mark.
Again, played in the league, played for some very good teams, some great teams. He understands that. And I'm sure in shoot-around during their practice, they talked about this. Players understood it, but you find a way to fight through it and get W's.
Well, they had their first practice on Monday, had Sunday off after getting home early Sunday morning from Milwaukee. Had one of those get what you need practices on Monday, and then Tuesday they went live for a little bit, went hard for about an hour. 4-point Suns lead. Green with the floater. That's going to be an offensive foul against the Warriors and Andrew Bogut. That's the second on him. 5:51 to go in the first half. Suns with the lead when we come back to Oracle. Welcome back, everybody, to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm from Oracle Arena. 145 consecutive sellouts, but their popularity not contained to just Oakland. On the road this year, tickets selling for 12 times their face value, highest TV ratings this season, and jersey sales through the roof. Luke Walton was telling us when they were pulling into their hotel rooms and their hotels at 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning on the road, there were still sometimes hundreds of people waiting in the hotel lobby to greet them. Warrior Nation fans all across the country showing out.
Funny thing is, these guys probably thinking, yeah, we big time. Well, you got a head coach that played with the great Bulls teams, so he's seen people at hotels and all around. And then you got a coach now in Luke that's played with the great Laker teams. And we know how it was with Shaq and Kobe and those teams. So that little 100 folks, even though it's great, it was a different ball game with those guys.
They may well get there if they go on another 24-game winning streak. Green fouled by Brandon Knight. That's going to be on the shot. Knight had just checked it back in the ball game. That's his first personal foul. Golden State hasn't had a field goal in the last 3 minutes, a rare scoring drought for them. Suns in the middle of a 10-2 run right now with the lead. Folks, make your vote count in NBA All-Star Voting 2016 presented by Verizon. Vote on NBA.com or via the NBA app for a chance to win a trip to NBA All-Star in Toronto this year. Vote now, vote daily.
That last play by Draymond Green on the defensive end really tells the story of what he means to this team. That's a slam dunk lob for Tyson Chandler. He comes from the weak side, reading the defense, and makes the proper play.
Brandon Knight, a long two, knocks it down. Phoenix leading by 4. A slow start for Steph Curry. Knight, meanwhile, with 8 points. Curry with just one field goal in the ball game. Here he is working against Bledsoe. A step back shot off the single foot is good. He makes some creative looking shots, folks. Knight behind the three-point line, off the mark this time. Livingston, the hit-ahead pass to Thompson. Got it.
That's what we're talking about, discipline. If you're Eric Bledsoe, stay at home with Klay Thompson. It's P.J. Tucker's responsibility to stop the basket.
Tucker not known as a three-point shooter, off the mark. Bledsoe saved it to the wrong guy. Here's Curry. Thompson off the great dime from Curry. And in a blink, the crowd comes alive.
Good job pushing the basketball in transition. The drop back pass. Klay Thompson, 6 points in 23 seconds. Mama call him Klay, I'ma call him.
Well, the voice of this team is Draymond Green, and he is so versatile, Mark.
Well, you see this, Bogut playing in pick and roll. Draymond Green's responsibility is to get connected to Tyson Chandler. Don't allow him to get to the rim. Bogut sells out, does his job. Green does his job. They come up with a turnover. Spectacular year thus far. No question should be an all-star.
3 triple-doubles this year. Had one of those triple-doubles November 27th against these Phoenix Suns. And it was really him that, in the wake of the loss in the locker room, one of the first voices to be heard, told the guys, fellas, now we can have a regular season, figuratively and literally. Setting the stage for them to move forward. Meanwhile, Tyson Chandler knocks down the mid-range jumper. Phoenix Suns down by 2. Chandler with 4 points. Got the start tonight. For the first time in the last 3 games. Nice feed underneath, and on cue, Green off the dime from Thompson.
Good execution. That's fresh out of a timeout. Well drawn up play by Luke Walton.
Bledsoe off the mark. Curry up court. Curry just 2 for 5. Nice little hesitation dribble on Lure. And Chef Curry with the shot.
You switch a big against Steph Curry. That's easy offense for him.
Brandon Knight on the baseline. Lure with the tip. John Lure's been very productive for the Phoenix Suns. Came over from Memphis during the offseason. Boy, look at Bledsoe battling Curry over that screen. Green, meanwhile, with the green light.
But good decision by Steph Curry. The first time they switch, he takes advantage. This time they leave Green open, he makes the proper decision.
Curry with the steal. The reverse is good. It doesn't take much for him to detonate. And it's a 10-point lead. Curry with 9. Great defense by the Warriors. And the turnover.
Now you look at Steph Curry, the switch, putting a bigger guy on him. I say this should be against the law. Outstanding job by Curry. And then this time, they trap him. Instead of trying to make the home run play, simple offense. Drops it off the green and in transition. Off of the stellar defense, this Warrior team's so good at putting together runs.
Oh, he was cooking with some hot fish grease now, folks.
Well, I think myself and other guys in the NBA are so involved in communities that we play in because we understand that if it wasn't for others helping us get to where we are today, we wouldn't be successful.
To see kids' smiles and to see them have that unforgettable moment.
Pretty indescribable, you know, the feeling is priceless.
You know, it means a lot to know that
Well, I think myself and other guys in the NBA are so involved in communities that we play in because we understand that if it wasn't for others helping us get to where we are today, we wouldn't be successful.
To see kids' smiles and to see them have that unforgettable moment.
Pretty indescribable, you know, the feeling is priceless.
You know, it means a lot to know that you can help somebody like that.
I want to continue to just, try to get back and try to be the best person I can be.
And welcome back, everyone, to Oracle Arena. 23-6 run for the Warriors, and Steph Curry has 10 of those points after a slow start. Mark, how does Phoenix get things back on the rails here a little bit?
Oh, yeah, Jeff Hornacek, you talk about what they talked about in shoot-around and preparing for this game. This is a team that if you're going to beat them, you got to be disciplined. And they lack discipline in the last couple of minutes, and that's where the Golden State Warriors put together great runs.
That foul against Andrew Bogut, that's going to be his third, sending him to the bench. Rush comes in for Bogut.
And people think it's not just defensive discipline. You got to have disciplined offense. Offensively, when you take care of the basketball and take quality shots, then all of a sudden you allow your defense an opportunity to get back in transition.
Well, look at Curry battling Knight, and he draws the offensive foul on Brandon Knight. Got called for the push-off. That's Knight's second personal foul.
And just as impressive as Curry's been the last couple of minutes offensively, he's been that impressive defensively. He's gotten into the body of these guards and made plays.
Here he is off the baseline screen. A little mismatch here against Tyson Chandler. Couldn't cash Green with a couple of tips. Got a third one up. And Warren clears for the Suns. Boy, Draymond Green battling taller players underneath.
And here's where the Warriors go small, but Draymond Green is not concerned about Tyson Chandler posting up.
Bledsoe on the blow-by, but blocked at the rim. Green gets on the floor, loose ball, and a jump ball called.
It's actually going to be a shot clock violation. Another excellent possession defensively by the Warriors. Draymond Green coming from the weak side. Big block shot, and then those guys willing to sacrifice their bodies, getting to the floor.
The officials talking this one over. Coming up on the Toyota halftime, Jalen's team to watch, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Chauncey's East Surprise, the Orlando Magic, under first-year head coach Scott Skiles. They're going to call the jump ball, after all. Got 1.4 seconds on the shot clock if the Suns get it. It's Warren and Green. And TJ Warren controls for the Suns. Got it off in time. Tucker hustles after it. Loose ball as a couple bodies careen into the front row. Looks like it's going to be Phoenix basketball still. Good hustle by PJ Tucker.
Call is off of Draymond Green. Both guys chasing after the ball.
Mark, that's why you got to read the fine print on those expensive tickets courtside. Something about being careful and liability. Bledsoe out front. It's about a 5-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Bledsoe double team. They take the ball out of his hands. Knight working against Curry. 10 on the shot clock. A deep three by Brandon Knight. Iguodala with the rebound. They'll get a chance for one here. They go to work quick. 2 on the clock. Green for 3. That's the end of the first half of play. Klay Thompson leading the way with 16 points. Curry heated up in the second period with 10 points. You knew that explosion would come at some point, that detonation. Stay tuned, folks, for the Toyota halftime. Sage Steele, Jalen Rose, and Chauncey Billups.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Patron Tequila, simply perfect, enjoy responsibly. And the next generation Kia Optima, official vehicle of the NBA.
Cause we got what they got, I'm talking times 2. Steph Curry with the shot, yeah, and one. Yeah, show some respect when you fly west, yeah.
And welcome back, everyone, to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. G-Eazy with the Warriors tribute. And it wasn't that easy for the Warriors at the beginning of the game, but they finally found their way. Welcome back, everyone. Mark Jones alongside Mark Jackson, J.A. Adonde joining us shortly. Well, the Golden State Warriors lead the NBA in a lot of different offensive categories, assists being one of them, Mark. And as we take a look at the assist of the night, brought to you by State Farm, a lot of different guys involved at the offensive end.
Well, they put so much pressure on you distributing the basketball. Take a look at the Suns. Good offense, they score. But look at the clock. How quick do the Warriors come back at you? Ball does not hit the floor other than Klay Thompson's step-in dribble. 4.7 seconds, and then Steph Curry. You switch to pick and roll, that's dangerous. It's too much of a task to ask a 7-footer to defend him one-on-one. Puts him on a dance, on skates, gets to his spot. How about this? Fixing his mouthpiece prior to coming off the pick and roll. Everything is going Steph Curry's way. Outstanding job by the Warriors that first half, especially the last 5 minutes.
10 of those 12 points for Curry coming in the second quarter. And for more, let's go courtside to J.A. What's up?
Well, Mark, Jeff Hornacek told me you can't let up against these Warriors because they can score so quickly. He said you have to stay with them the whole time. You can't be 8 feet away from them because they'll pull up at any time. Also, Tyson Chandler got through that first half okay. He's still recovering from that hamstring strain that kept him out for 8 games. He told me this morning, he says he can't get to second gear. Well, Mark, against the Warriors, you better find third or fourth gear, right?
Yeah, really. He is their defensive anchor and big communicator on the back line of their defense. They're going to need all that and then some from him in the second half, as the Golden State Warriors look for their 8th consecutive win at home here against the Suns and their 29th regular season home win overall. The fans here, Mark, were unusually subdued in the early going.
Well, we've seen this around the league, around professional sports, when a team displays excellent time and time again. Sometimes you take it for granted.
Good point.
You can sit back and just wait. They'll put together a run. You get spoiled.
Fouls against PJ Tucker. That's his first personal foul. Klay Thompson going to go to the free throw line. Thompson actually got off to a slow start this season, and during that road trip found his way a little bit at the offensive end especially.
You don't worry about Klay Thompson. Elite defender, great shooter, loves the game of basketball, puts more pressure on himself than anybody else. You don't worry about Klay Thompson.
Sprained his ankle during that 7-game road trip. Here's Bledsoe. Yeah, he had the big game in Atlanta during that win streak. Foul going to be called as Brandon Knight drove by Thompson. But it's interesting, Mark, and I'm going to say it for you. 4 years ago, when you were coaching this team and told me and many others that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry were the best shooting backcourt ever, a lot of people scoffed. Well, that has come to fruition, and then some, as these two continue to rip cord.
Well, I appreciate that. And at the end, I mean, you think about it, it's not even close. I mean, it's not like I said something that was an easy call.
Yeah.
These two guys are great shooters. It's not even close. We've seen one like them in a backcourt. We've never seen Ray Allen and Reggie Miller play together.
I remember at the time when you said these two were, you know, the best shooting backcourt, and John Wall and Brad Beal had a little something to say about that. But as you said, and most would agree, that there's nobody close right now. It's these two and then everybody else. On cue, Thompson off the mark that time.
I got to talk to him about that. Come on. That's the perfect time for him to knock that shot down.
Would have worked pretty well. Bledsoe at the other end, cleared by Bogut. Both of those two had a summer together playing for USA Basketball, winning gold in Spain a couple of years ago. Knight with the layup and one, and Brandon Knight going to go to the free throw line, try and complete the three-point play as he continues to rediscover his rhythm after ankle surgery last April. That's the 4th foul, meanwhile, on Bogut.
A good job pushing the basketball and attacking with purpose. Bledsoe hits Knight on point, and Knight does the rest. Finishes the three-point play also.
Knight averaging a little over 20 points per game. Put in a lot of work over the summer. I had a chance to watch him down in Miami, where he has a home, where he's from. Put in a lot of work with Irving Rowland, the Phoenix Suns player development coach on staff there. And really starting to get back into rhythm. Turned that one over, though, as Klay Thompson comes up with a steal and the finish.
Another poor decision. That's a 4-on-2 fast break. Klay Thompson not surrendering a basket. Active hands. Comes up with a steal and does the rest. This is how you execute. You force a defender to make a decision. Bledsoe doesn't. Thompson finishes in transition.
Thompson with 20. Knight slips and falls. Another Suns turnover. Lead is 15 with 10:20 to go here, just underway in the third quarter. The Suns have turned it over 12 times. Curry blocked but fouled on the play, as Bledsoe and Lure were there defending. Steph Curry already with 7 40-point games this year. He had 3 all of last season. And when you look at the improvement that he's made this year, you could make a viable argument that he should be in the running for not only MVP, but most improved player this year.
I'm not doing that.
Why not?
I can't do that. I mean, the dude's a great player. The dude's the MVP of the league.
You can still get better, though, theoretically.
Yeah, but to
right?
me, it's disrespect to the guys that have made the jump. You know, you look at a guy like Rondo, who was off the map, who basically was thrown away from a team and now having an impact. I'm not saying he should win it, but that's just a name off the top of my head. Steph Curry should not win most improved. He's already great, and he's got an opportunity to win another MVP award.
Okay, but can you not have great and then more great?
Yeah, but his gap from being MVP to where he is now isn't, you know, far and away above whoever should be that most improved player.
All right, if he ends up averaging 35 a game at the end of the season, he's getting some votes. Bledsoe.
We're trying to give him everything in the kitchen, man. Can another brother eat somewhere along the line? That's all I'm saying.
There's a look at the comparison between last year and this year.
So we're saying, other than his point difference, those numbers aren't impressive. He's already the MVP of the league. He's a great player, and he's having a spectacular year again.
On cue, Steph. Tell him, Steph. Tell your guy here, Steph.
If I was Steph Curry, I'd say, don't give me the most improved. Let somebody else have that. Let me get another MVP award.
Well, he's obviously put in the work, and he is an assiduous and tireless worker. Results showing this year. An Aaron lob pass back the other way. Curry got the layup. And the lead has swollen quickly to 21 points. Foul against Curry.
Look how this game has gotten away from the Phoenix Suns quick.
Didn't it really? And the Suns call timeout as Curry pleads his case with Derek Collins. Can you have it all?
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Fitbit. Find your fit at Fitbit.com. And Mitsubishi Motors and the 2015 Mitsubishi Holiday Sales Event.
If you come home, have an opportunity to play in front of our fans again, you want to start another streak and see how long it go, but relief is kind of like winning was a burden, and we never felt that way. We look forward to those opportunities to keep it going and answer the bell every single time. And obviously Milwaukee didn't happen, but it was a fun ride, and we want to start another one.
You know, one of the most refreshing variables in that winning streak was the fact that the Warriors really embraced their chase of history and excellence. There was no pretentiousness about it being kind of a secondary thought. They were saying, no, we like this winning streak, and we're going to try and make it last as long as we possibly can.
They owned it. They were not afraid of chasing history. They embraced it, and it propelled them to do something spectacular. 24-1. What an incredible start to the year.
People already asking questions about 72-10. Can they? It's the Bulls record. Bogut off the nice feed from Green. It was all thumbs, couldn't make the catch. Rush over to Mr. Wide Open. Klay Thompson with another three. And he's got 23. Bledsoe missing at the other end. It's one and done for Phoenix. Now down by 22.
How about Thompson and Curry doing all the work this quarter thus far?
Green on the drive, fouled on the drive. It's going to go against Brandon Knight. And Draymond Green going to the foul line. That's the third personal foul against Knight. Pretty good start here in the third period for the Splash Brothers.
Looking at Klay Thompson, his brother was actually traded from the Chicago White Sox today to the Los Angeles Dodgers. His brother's a heck of a baseball player with a bright, bright future.
Of course, those of you that don't already know, Dad, Michael, was a champion with the Los Angeles Lakers.
And the #1 pick in the draft.
Yeah. Actually played his high school basketball. I found this out just a couple of years ago. Played his high school basketball down in Miami.
Did he?
Yes. Part of a Bahamian connection they had down there. For attending the University of Minnesota.
Well, you continue to dazzle with information.
You know, Mark, it's just that Florida thing. It's Brandon Knight from the Miami area. Neighbor of mine, just a couple blocks down the highway. Brandon Knight looking healthy this year, and that should mean good things for the Phoenix Suns. Curry turns it over, and here's Bledsoe in transition. Bledsoe put that big body on Thompson to make a little space, and Teletovic with the follow. Well, the Warriors will run out after a made basket. And a great dime inside by Draymond Green to Curry. Curry now with 19. Make that 21. Chandler up top. Thompson, butter. Another three.
No, we can rave about offense, and that's good offense, but that's horrible defense. You come in understanding what you have to do to win ball games. That's a couple of passes and a throw ahead to a knockdown shooter. That's inexcusable, and Jeff Hornacek calls the young fella Booker to be inserted into the game.
Here's Thompson. Speaking of porous defense, they have just opened up the gates for the Warriors. A 25-point Golden State lead. #1 team in basketball, looking for its 25th win of the season. Knight with the miss. And off to the races again. Curry from Thompson. It wasn't pretty, but it still counts. Curry looking at his hand as if it was his hand that betrayed him.
He's not the most improved jumper, that's for sure.
Got to work on that bounce. Might have found his weakness here, Mark.
Good pass by Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Are you kidding me? The friendly ring.
Great NBA action Christmas Day presented by State Farm. Look at that awesome menu of basketball. We will ball until we fall on ESPN and ABC. Pelicans Heat, Bulls Thunder, Cavs Warriors in a rematch of the finals last year. Spurs Rockets, and then Clippers and Lakers cap it off with the last game of the night when you're in your turkey-induced coma, Mark Jackson.
I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
Has Santa decided which team he's going to play for on Christmas?
It looked like he was going to sign with OKC when I heard him tell KD that he's the real Santa Claus. Great promos, by the way. Thompson. Tell you what, Santa's going to have a lot of gifts for him if he keeps balling out like that. Thompson with 14 in this quarter.
But this is bad defense by the Suns. This is too easy for the Warriors. Give them credit, but the Suns are not battling or competing on the defensive end right now.
Alex Len at the offensive end with a bank shot. Phoenix Suns leaking oil in a big way here in the third quarter. Curry back to Thompson off the screen. And it's all good here in the East Bay.
And if you're a team trying to duplicate what the Warriors are doing, you're going to run a play for a 6'7" shooting guard to knock down a contested three. I mean, that's good offense, but that's great shot making. He stretches the defense. He's behind the line, well behind the line. That's a contest by Booker. And Bogut standing in front of him. Incredible shot makers.
Great offensive execution. And here's Draymond Green. Goes quick with it. Len with the rebound. Well, look at Curry, Thompson, and Green, the picture of efficiency tonight. Alex Len working against Bogut. Teletovic off the screen. Contested, but he still knocks it down. It was just good to see Mirza Teletovic back on the basketball court. At the end of last season, was suffering still from blood clots, much like Chris Bosh of the Miami Heat. But was cleared and took his medication, and good to see him back on the court. Kind of strange that in 1 year had both he and Bosh suffering from the same type of problem. I'm not sure that was a shot, but that's usually what happens. Things just seem to bounce their way on offense, Mark.
Well, it was a lob to Bogut, but Klay Thompson pursuing the basketball. But to get back to what you're talking about, Teletovic and Bosh, give both organizations a lot of credit. Didn't rush those guys back, understood that it's about life and being healthy. And it's great to see both of those guys back in business.
Whistle and the foul going to go against Booker. Teletovic played with Brooklyn last year. He was actually out west with the Nets during a road trip in a game against the Clippers when he felt uneasiness in his breathing, and training staff didn't want to take any chances, took him to the hospital that night, and was ultimately diagnosed. Folks, let's take a look at the upcoming NBA TV national TV schedule. TNT tomorrow, OKC taking on Cleveland, followed by Houston and the Lakers. ESPN Friday has the Clippers at the Spurs, followed by the Pelicans and the Suns, and then Saturday at Charlotte taking on Washington on NBA TV. For more on these games, please log on to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. You look at that Clippers San Antonio game coming up. A rematch of a very riveting, compelling playoff series last year. The Spurs have ascended while the Clippers, Mark, I think you could say they've taken a little bit of a step backwards this year.
Well, it's safe to say that. There's plenty of time to get right, but they have certainly taken a step back and trying to find themselves. They've been somewhat inconsistent on a nightly basis, and they're well coached and got some talent. They got to get it back. How about this show that the Warriors are putting on?
A lot of their field goals are assisted on tonight. They're already up to 24 assists.
How about another big time half? We've seen quarters put together by Thompson and Curry throughout the course of the last 2 years. Thompson off to another one. 22 points in this third quarter already.
Here's Curry. Fouled by Teletovic. Just practicing, folks. Just practicing.
Off to the races to throw ahead. Simple basketball. Those are your two big guys. That's your 4 and your 5 in transition. Making the proper plays. Bogut to Green at the rim.
To open their new arena for the 2018-19 season. It's located in the Mission Bay neighborhood of San Francisco, about half a mile south of AT&T Park. Expected capacity about 18,000 and all the amenities. This is certainly a great time for the franchise with their popularity in the wake of an NBA championship last year. And as you look at the crowd here in Oakland at Oracle Arena, Mark, you can only hope that, and I'm sure that Warrior fans will join me in this sentiment, you only hope that they keep that enthusiasm and that special edge that they've had for all the lean years they had here, too, prior to their success now.
No, you're right. I'm in shock. Steph Curry just missed 2 free throws.
2? Yeah, not 1, but 2.
But you can take for granted the way we talked about the fans take for granted and are spoiled with what they experience. As an organization, you can also take for granted this fan base, this incredible fan base that continues to show out and been passionate even during your losing years, before the banners. They've been loyal and they've been very supportive. It'll be interesting to see whether, not the support, but this is an incredible place to play at. It'll be awesome to see as it carry over.
Very earthy and spirited crowd here. 145 consecutive sellouts at Oracle Arena as Warren misses the first of 2. Knocks down the second one.
You know the score is the Phoenix Suns 62 and Curry and Thompson 61.
That kind of puts things in perspective, doesn't it? Thank you. And it's about to go up.
They've taken the lead.
Drake sitting here courtside. It's not going up on a Tuesday. It's going up on a Wednesday, but excuse me for the lyrical misconduct. Klay Thompson with a season-high 40, and the meter is still running, folks. It's almost like that third quarter he had last year when he had, I think it was 37. Ronnie Price fouled by Curry, sending him to the free throw line. There's a look at Drake, the official ambassador of the Toronto Raptors, but fan of many NBA teams and players. It's going to be a big part of All-Star Weekend coming up this year in Toronto. That's the 4th foul on Steph Curry, meanwhile.
You think he's going to be a big part?
He's from Toronto. He's the official ambassador. They have, I think they've had 2 or 3 Drake nights already up there in Toronto. As official Bill Kennedy will go to the monitor and try and sort things out here. And Kennedy was in the news recently, of course, with the suspension of Rajon Rondo of the Sacramento Kings for a game. Kennedy was on the receiving end of some profane comments that were made by Rondo, which he since has apologized for. And in the wake of that, Kennedy coming out and saying that he is gay. And the NBA in full support of Bill Kennedy. Of course, no professional sports league has the sparkling record of inclusiveness that the NBA currently has and has always had. That's the way that the league likes to operate and will continue to do so. Ronnie Price knocks down the first. Price is going to get 3. Tell you what, the Phoenix Suns are going to go to the huddle at the end of the period here and try and figure out what hit them. They trail by 33 points.
Oh, they're well aware of what hit them.
Maybe it's how it hit them. Thompson hit him with the rhythm. .43 points for Klay Thompson. 27 this quarter.
Man, that's a heck of a move. That's a move that Klay Thompson could not make when he came into this league, but much more comfortable handling the basketball and creating his own offense.
Booker missing from downtown.
And he seeks the basketball. Right now, he's thinking, get me to rock. That's exactly what he's thinking.
Green got stripped. Ledovich lost the handle. Iguodala for the Warriors. Thompson, a deep 3. You can excuse the heat check.
That was like a day where he had.
When you got it popping like that, you're allowed to take those deep ones. Green with the steal, looking up court. Curry on the right, Thompson on the left. It's Curry time.
Look at the options you have handling the basketball. Curry on the right, Thompson on the left.
I think Drake just got out of his seat and went to the studio. He's inspired to chop up a couple more verses on the Splash Brothers here in Oakland tonight. Booker. There's about a 1 second difference between the shot and the game clock. Green on the drive. Ezeli with the easy slam.
Draymond Green, you look up with the triple-double. Another spectacular night for this guy that should be in Toronto with Drake.
Yeah, you might see him All-Star Weekend. His 4th triple-double of the season. And the Klay Thompson show took center stage in the 3rd quarter. Season high 43. It wasn't Chef Curry with the shot. It was a little claymation.
Hi, I'm Luke's dad, and I couldn't be more proud, more happy, or more lucky. I love the Golden State Warriors. What they're doing is just fantastic. Historic, epic, monumental. But it's their style, it's their persona, and it's their enthusiasm. They love playing basketball. I'm a proud, lucky, and happy Warrior of the Golden State.
That's a proud dad right there. And Luke Walton earning kudos for being able to manage this team and get them out of the gate as quickly as they've gotten this year. Looking for their 25th win of the season against that singular defeat that came Saturday night in Milwaukee. Ezeli inside. And he'll go to the free throw line. Klay Thompson with 27 points in that 3rd quarter. Draymond Green with his 4th triple-double of the season. And the Splash Brothers combining for 68 points. The Suns have only 65 on the board.
When you think about it, at the end of the 1st quarter, Jeff Hornacek excited about the job his team is doing. Up 2 on the road, playing very well. Second and third quarter, the Golden State Warriors outscored the Phoenix Suns 79-37, led by those 2 guys. Let go of the rope. We're not as disciplined defensively, and we're not as disciplined offensively neither.
Well, the Suns trying to find themselves and came into the night with a record 11-15. 9th spot in the Western Conference as Teletovic knocks down another mid-range jump shot. But the good news, and he's got 17, the good news for the Phoenix Suns is, Mark, when you look at the Western Conference this year, things have thinned out a little bit. Some of the teams that were powerhouses last year, like Houston and the Clippers, are down a notch this year. So that provides a little bit of optimism for teams like Phoenix.
It does, but it does not, because at the end of the day, you look at this Phoenix Suns team, they've been inconsistent. There's some days where you look at them and say, man, this team is pretty good and they're dangerous. And then you look at them other nights and you're like, disappointed. They've got to find a way to be consistent, because if you don't put it together and get runs, you're going to have problems trying to enter into the playoffs in this Western Conference.
Fouls against T.J. Warren, his second personal foul. Mo Spade's going to go to the free throw line for the Warriors. Let's go courtside to J.A. What's up?
Well, Mark, the Suns are desperately trying to make the playoffs, and they're not satisfied being stuck where they have been the last couple years, just outside the playoffs. So one of the moves you could see them make is trading Markieff Morris. Morris has not played tonight. Of course, he was unhappy when they let his brother go, now with the Detroit Pistons. So one thing they're going to try to do, I think it's a matter of when they trade Markieff Morris, not if. They're waiting to see what the best deal will be. There's a possibility they've talked to New Orleans about Ryan Anderson. New Orleans is entertaining that thought. Maybe Terrence Jones from the Houston Rockets could be available as well. So they're going to make some moves, and you'll see a different team by the end of the trade deadline.
Interesting is they jockey for position in the Western Conference. Yeah, Markieff Morris, one half of those Twins, actually had a career year last year at 15.3 points per game as another layup, an easy bucket for the Warriors.
That's why if you're Phoenix, you don't want to overreact, because they have talent. They're not far away. You look, they were in the mix for LaMarcus Aldridge. You put them on this team, it's a dangerous team. So they're not far away. They do have pieces, and they're well coached.
First time in a long time that those twins, Markieff and Marcus Morris, have played on separate teams. Mo Spates with the putback.
Mo Spates is a guy that deserves a lot of credit. And I say that because he's always ready. He can sit on the bench and he can pout, when's my opportunity, and blow out. Sometimes he does not play. But when they call upon him, he stays ready.
Barbosa from downtown, halfway down and out. Warren up to Bledsoe. Teletovic lets another 3-ball fly and connects.
But he can shoot the basketball. And he has not turned down a shot yet, but he can shoot the basketball.
44% from downtown coming into the game tonight. There's a Teletovic, formerly of the Brooklyn Nets, has 22. Livingston guarded by him on the switch. Spates taking advantage of Goodwin, but that's going to be a foul against Mo Spates. Timeout with 8:55 to go from Oracle Arena in Oakland. Trolley car, one of the great areas to visit in town. 24 consecutive wins to start the season, usurping the previous best of 15-0, and they lead the league in so many different offensive categories. And inside of Alcatraz too. You know, I'm looking at the guys in the trolley car. Do they have to pay fare for that? You're Golden State Warrior. You just kind of hop on for a stop and hop off, or you got to hit the guy in his pocket with the fare. I don't know.
You're the Warriors. You get in free.
All right. They're on that buddy pass right now. Foul against Mo Spates. That's his second personal foul, first team. As Archie Goodwin out of Kentucky at the free throw line. Well, folks, NBA Friday, we got a doubleheader for you on ESPN. Clippers and Spurs at 8 o'clock, and then at 10:30 it's the Pelicans taking on the Suns. Coverage starts 7 p.m. Eastern Time with NBA Countdown charged by Mountain Dew. Both games also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Nobody talking about those San Antonio Spurs, who are only 4 games back in the loss column after all those wins by the Golden State Warriors. As Greg Popovich has tweaked their style of play a little bit to fit their new personnel. Most importantly, LaMarcus Aldridge starting to figure things out for San Antonio. Knight rejected by Livingston. San Antonio and Golden State don't play until about the midway point of January. That's going to be a real interesting matchup, as Livingston off the mark with the 3. Goodwin on the drive. Going to be called for the charge. And interesting to note that the San Antonio Spurs actually have a better point differential coming into tonight.
I got a feeling it'll change after tonight's game.
Yeah, 112.78 will kind of skew that a little bit. You're right. Now, the interesting thing is, as Spades drives to the bucket and gets it to go, Steph Curry probably won't play here in the 4th quarter, just like the first time these two teams met. And Klay Thompson probably won't play in the 4th quarter of this game. And you factor in those things, those two things, their point differential becomes even that much more impressive.
And I'm gonna give you you can take the probably out of that. Right? Neither one of those guys will play again the rest of the night, so it's safe to say. But you're right, it shows how good they are and how great of a season that they're having individually and collectively.
Andre Iguodala goes glass.
I mean, this is the bench, and everybody out there on the floor right now, they're real players who can impact the game. It's scary how good this team is.
First field goal of the ball game for the NBA Finals MVP. Had his first double-double of the season during that 7-game road trip in Boston. Had 13 points and 10 rebounds. That's one of the best basketball IQs on that team. Here he is guarding Archie Goodwin. Barbosa to Iguodala, and Iggy finishes.
They brought him here because of his ability to handle the basketball and play that point forward position. Also his knowledge of the game. Elite defender. Doesn't make mistakes on the floor.
One of several players on that roster that at his height and his size and skill set makes this team a wonderful collection of interchangeable parts. 6:20 to go and the beat goes on here in the Bay. Back after this.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. We exist to assist. And in part by Cadillac.
Welcome everyone back to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm from Oracle Arena. The 145th consecutive sellout. Witnessing a masterful job by the Golden State Warriors, leading 119-82. Mark Jones chopping it up courtside along with Mark Jackson, J.A. Adonde as well. And it's been a lot of that tonight. Little pick and roll. Mo Spates, a.k.a. Mo Buckets, with the hoop for the Warriors. And seasons from all of us at ESPN to all of you at home as we look ahead to a great Christmas Day of basketball coming up on the ESPN network, including a rivalry, actually a rematch between the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And there's talk that Kyrie Irving may be back on Thursday for the Cavaliers. So that'll make that Christmas Day game all that much more intriguing, Mark.
Well, no secret, Kyrie Irving makes them a totally different basketball team. because he's an elite point guard, a guy that you have to game plan against and can create his own offense. So hopefully he's back and back soon, but should be a great matchup either way.
Bryce with the miss chases down his own rebound. Warren won't pass up many open J's, and he knocks that one down. This is going to be the 7th time that Steph Curry won't play in the fourth quarter this year, as Luke Walton goes deep into his bench. Jason Thompson and McAdoo coming into the ball game. Here's Ian Clark off the Spade screen. Len switches out onto him and got spun around like a record on a turntable that time. Still looking for Clark. Alex Len's like, where did he go?
Talked about it earlier. It's putting too much pressure on your bigs to switch out. You know, it shows you the Warriors' versatility. You ask Draymond Green to do that, he's more than capable of doing it. But asking a 7-footer to do it is a recipe for disaster.
Len facing up. Missed the jump shot, but tipped in by Warren.
And you can find when you're struggling, you're trying to find an identity as a team. It's nights like this where you recognize what T.J. Warren is doing. He's just competing. He's fighting. He's trying to send a message. Give me more playing time.
Hornacek trying to get those pieces together for the Suns. 4:06 to go here from Oracle. We'll be back right after this. Don't miss SportsCenter at night live from LA. Stan and Neil will have the scores and highlights from all the NBA Plus college hoops and the night in the NHL ice. SportsCenter at night coming up next on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN. And what a night for Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. Triple-double, 4th of the season for Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson with a huge third quarter on his way to 43 points, and 27 of those in the third period. Oh, and by the way, Steph Curry with 25.
You know, the Warriors starters have outscored the Phoenix Suns starters 95-36, and that's with one starter for the Warriors not scoring tonight. 95-36. Got to be better.
Phenomenal. Here's Ian Clark missing from downtown. And when you think about the Phoenix Suns, as Goodwin drives to the bucket, gets it to go. 2 years ago, they won 48 games. They were kind of one of the feel-good stories and overachievers in the NBA. And they just missed the playoffs 2 years ago. And then last season, they took an appreciable step backwards, going 39-43. And this year, trying to put it back together. And one of the things they have to solve, as Jay Adande pointed out, is what to do with Markieff Morris, who now will be another DNP for 5 consecutive games. Waiting to make a roster move, perhaps, with him, entertaining some trade offers. Bledsoe in the second year of a max deal. Brandon Knight signed a max deal during the offseason, or close to max deal during the offseason. There's a look at their year-by-year record. That 48-34 year, things were looking up, and then had some chemistry issues the following season. Ended up trading Goran Dragic to the Miami Heat. And Isaiah Thomas also dealt away to the Boston Celtics. Kind of broke it up, Mark.
Did break it up, and Isaiah Thomas was a guy that, you know, really impacted the game. But how many guys do you need like that on a team, especially when you got Brandon Knight, you got Eric Bledsoe, you got 2 point guards. It's kind of tough to find a room to have 3 guys that are explosive and can score the basketball. They've got to get it back, though. Yeah. They've got to get it back and figure out how to be consistent on a nightly basis.
The officials at the table looking to see if it's going to be a clear path foul or not. Bill Kennedy, Derek Collins, and Trey Maddox at the table. Let's take one more look. Looks like they're going to rule it a common foul.
These refs are better than me. I look at the score and be like, man, come on, let's get out of here. I mean, let's be honest, man.
You're thinking about that traffic across the bridge and on 880, right? 3.5 minutes to go as the Warriors begin a potential new winning streak. And if they win their next 3 games, including tonight, they'll have the best pre-Christmas record of any team in NBA history. Coming up next, it'll be a Friday night rematch for the Warriors against the Milwaukee Bucks as Ronnie Price will go to the free throw line and try and complete maybe it was a 4-point play.
And he did knock down the 3 and get an opportunity for the 4-point play. Good job of recognizing Horry's space, hand extended, gets the contact, and the correct call was made.
I was told that in the wake of Milwaukee's win against Golden State Saturday night to end the 24-game win streak, Jason Kidd met some of the members of the rival coaching staff of the Warriors and said, hey, we know we got you on Friday. Go easy on us. Of course, there's an interesting trend when you talk about the Milwaukee Bucks as a franchise ending long winning streaks, having the team who had that winning streak go on to eventually win the NBA championship like the Los Angeles Lakers team did back in the early 70s when they had their long winning streak ended by the Milwaukee Bucks. Spades off the mark, upset about something.
That Buck team with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson, I mean, 2 all-time greats right there.
Ian Clark up court. In a rush, finds Spates, and Mo Spates will go to the free throw line for a pair. Here's a look at it. Love this old video. Lou Alcindor sporting the fro as the Bucks end the Lakers winning streak. That was 1972, January 9th, and then last Saturday the Bucks franchise doing it again, snapping the Warriors' 24-game win streak to start the season, winning 108-95. Of course, there's a little bit of debate as to whether it was a 24 or a 28-game regular season winning streak, because there were 4 wins from the previous season. You know, there are fans down in Dade County in Florida who had the 27-game winning streak all in one season with the Miami Heat, saying that theirs is the true second best longest winning streak.
I can't argue.
You think it should be that way over just one season, not 2?
I think when you can make a case either way. I would say the Miami argument is this isn't the same team. Collective group, the same team, so it makes it tough. But if I'm the Warriors, hey, it's my record. I'm the second best.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to argue either way.
I live in Dade County, so you know which way I got to go on that. On the turnover, here come the Suns. 2 minutes to go. 124-96, and Len with a nice finish. Alex Len continuing to show signs of improvement, and this is his 2nd year in the NBA. His 1st year, he only played 41 games because of ankle issues. Jumped straight up. Did not foul Mo Spates. The Warriors with another possession here. McAdoo posting up, and James Michael McAdoo takes advantage of the smaller Goodwin.
You know, talking about those streaks, to me, if I'm the Warriors or any one of those great teams, that don't really matter to me. To have the best record before Christmas, I mean, it sounds good, but do we really know if you had a pop quiz who holds the record now? You know, so at the end of the day, being the champs is what matters, and going through the process and being great every single night is what matters.
You think 72-10 would matter to this group? Is that a different argument?
It matters to them because I know these guys individually and collectively, they're a bunch of pros that compete at a high level and they care about that. But to me, it really doesn't matter because who held the record before the Bulls? We look at the Bulls and say 72-10.
Yeah.
You can't get caught up in that. Your job is to be the best team last year, which you were, and to be the best team this year.
There's a look at their upcoming 5-game homestand. And of course, circle December the 25th as the defending Eastern Conference champs come to town to take on the Warriors in a rematch of last year's NBA Finals that went 6 games. And of course, Kyrie Irving expected to be back by then for the Cavaliers. Ronnie Price fouled by Speights. Of course, 5 great games coming up on Christmas Day. It all starts off at noon Eastern time as the New Orleans Pelicans will be in Miami to take on the Heat. Followed by the Thunder and Bulls at 2:30 on ABC. Then it's the Warriors and Cavs we were just talking about. Spurs at the Rockets, and the Clippers and Lakers the nightcap.
It's a great day of basketball.
Going ball till you fall.
I mean, just obviously we got to work, but I mean, if I didn't have to work, just sitting around, opening up presents, celebrating the day, and just watching some good basketball.
I think I'm doing 2 deep fried turkeys for Christmas because I'm doing that noon game in Miami.
You're saying home? You're saying you're going to eat?
I'll eat. And the familiar chorus of Warriors raining down on the court as whatever's left of the 145th sellout crowd here, consecutive sellout, making themselves heard. And a hard foul as Price hit Speights, got him above the shoulders, got him in the head area. Bill Kennedy may go to the monitor to try and review this. Here's one more look. It's all about the windup, and he got him above the head, and we're not going to look at this. Okay.
It looked like Luke Walton is upset. He wants him to take a look at it, according to the rules. But that's what I talked about a couple of minutes ago. They're better than me. I'm trying to get out of here. But Luke Walton saying let's follow the rules, and should have taken a look at it, no question.
11 points for Mo Speights out of the University of Florida. And this one, folks, is cooked, glazed, and ready to be sliced. It's a 29th consecutive home regular season win for the Warriors. Oracle Arena, a bastion of perfection over the last 29 games for the Warriors. They win this one 128-103 in a quote-unquote quiet 25 for Steph Curry and a loud 43 for Thompson. Don't forget SportsCenter, folks. It's coming up in 15 seconds.